NLP and HR industry. It's a very pleasant day because with us Professor Niladri Shekhar Dash, who is a very dear linguist to us. We have been with him for several years, and we know him in person because has been very he has been very dear to us, and he has attended so many programs and delivered lectures in Northeast India also. And Bijan will be giving his prolific information very soon. So warm welcome to Professor Niladri sir in our platform of Linguistics Alumni Association, University Silchar.
Thank you very much.
And also from other departments platform today. I would like to request our Professor Kesh Dhiren Singha to kindly say a few words before I request Dr. Bijan to take over the session.
Just good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So after a long time, okay, I've seen you.
Yes.
Anyway, it's really wonderful and it's for pleasure, sir. Uh, just to accept us in this for this program, and as I hope that, sir, our all alumni, they're just trying their best to do good in any aspects of linguistics as well as their personal life and their job, etc. But I hope that your lecture will motivate more. So what they are doing now, and this I always uh, regard your works. I have seen somewhere in the Facebook or whatever, maybe sometimes I follow you, and I do hope that today's your lecture will just make meaningful for our students and for our faculty as well. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I just want to say I congratulate you as well. I'm very sorry to say that for some other meeting, so I have to leave uh, the program. I'm really sorry because I just told Manali that day as well. Actually, I have some other meeting. Though, I'll be there for some time because, my Niladri sir is a very wonderful person and my dear as well. So I'm really missing your sir. I'm
No,
really
no,
missing.
not at all. Not at all.
So
Someday we'll
Manali,
go together, come to that
Manali,
together
yes,
in
yes, sir,
meeting.
yes, sir. Manali and Bijan, I request you, if it is possible, you kindly, make record of sir's lecture so that, I can see and I can listen, later on. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thank you very
thank
much.
you, Bijan. Thank you, Manal. And thank you, all our
Thank you.
alumni, so for attending the program. And we'll meet more. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. Take care. Take care.
Thank you very much, Dhiren sir. And I'd like to inform that it is being recorded by one of our members present here. So it will be available shortly. I'd like
Thank
to
you. Thank
request now
thank
Dr. L. Bijan Kumar Singh to kindly take over the session to moderate. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Monali, and thank you, Professor Dhiren Singha, the ISOD of the department. Thank you very much. And I, on behalf of our Alumni Association and on behalf of the Linguistic Department, Assam University, would like to welcome all of you again, once again. A very warm welcome to you all. It's a proud privilege for all of us to have among us Professor Niladri Shekhar Dash as our speaker for today's talk. So, sir, we are very thankful to you for accepting our invitation, and we all of us know that you are a very busy person, sir. Yesterday only, also I was seeing in one of your posts that you are giving a lecture for the college teachers. So, sir
Yes.
is a very busy person. So, before I invite sir to take over, I would like to give a very brief introduction about Niladri sir. So many of us know him. So uh, Niladri sir is a professor research in the social science division and head linguistic research unit in the Indian Statistical Institute, which is shortly known as the ISI, which is based at Kolkata. So for the last 30 years, he has been working in the areas of corpus linguistics and language technology, computational lexicography, language documentation and digitization, computer-assisted language teaching, digital ethnography, manual and machine translation, and dementia of bilingual aphasic patients. So he is an international visiting fellow of the British Academy, which is based in UK, United Kingdom, at 2018, and he's also a visiting research scientist of SPCLS at University of Reading, UK, from 2018 to 2024. And he is also a visiting scholar of language and brain laboratory at University of Oxford, UK, at 2019, and a visiting fellow of Institute of Education, University of London College, from 2022 to 2023. So to his credit, means to Professor Niladri Shekhar Dash credit, he has published 18 research books and more than 300 research papers in international and national journals and anthologies and conference proceedings. So he has delivered academic lectures or taught courses in more than 100 universities and institutions in India and abroad. So he has served in different capacity to Indian and foreign university and government and international organizations such as like UNESCO. So it's a very long, profile of sir. So let me take this privilege to end up here about the introduction of Professor Niladri Shekhar Dash. If any of you are interested to see the detailed work of the Niladri sir, then I will post the link in the chat box. You can visit and can see the detailed works of the Niladri sir. So without wasting any further more time, I would like to invite Niladri sir to kindly take over and to start the presentation. Over to you, sir. The screen is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, good morning, my dear students, colleagues, friends who have come on this busy Sunday morning rather than doing their personal course and spending their time in their own ways to a semi-academic session. So, I'm really grateful to them that I have taken their 1 hour time on a Sunday, which is entirely theirs. So, I big sincere apology for that. But this has a very academic or a very important role in our life. So we have found out that okay, a Sunday morning time, 1 hour spending would be not a simple waste. So I would like to thank Manali, Professor Dhirenji, and Bijanji also inviting me to interact or to share some of my ideas with regard to the future prospects of students of linguistics in country and abroad. So we decided that to break the entire discussion today, it's not a talk, to be honest. It is basically an interactive session. I'll try to give you some ideas as a student of linguistics, how you can opt linguistics as one of the most lucrative ways for your survival and sustenance, as one of the good scopes for job opportunities, as well as how it can contribute or it can help you to contribute to the discipline which you have come here for to learn for at least 2 years for masters, another 5 years for PhD, and maybe in future courses. So I'll try to share some of the slides. I have got only few slides. Primarily, I'll concentrate on interactive sessions. After I finish, I'd like to take questions from you or queries from you. So I'll try to respond accordingly. So let me share my slides first. So yes, just a minute. So can you see this? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Fine. So here, here we let us start. Right. Just a minute. Actually, it's going up. Yes. I'm just trying to remove this one. Yes, fine. If you look at the slides, I have got 15 or 16 slides. I'll read certain very critical questions for us. And these are not very happy questions. Is linguistics at all a good option for our career? These are very important questions when you have all come to the course of linguistics at the undergraduate level or postgraduate level. Now, let us concentrate on the uh, basic question. Linguistics, the first question when you studied, to be honest, when you came to undergraduate level, you had a clear idea that you'll go for English honors or Assamese honors or whatever that honors you want, that linguistics is a subject and that it is there was not into our brain, to be honest. So when somebody mentioned about the course of degree in linguistics, the basic thing, the primary questions that we raised is something like that. Linguistics, what it is? Is it a unique discipline with human knowledge system? Does it have any history? Does it have any value in our life? Does it contribute to our society? Does it serve the purpose of new generations? Does it give any scope for knowledge and information? Does it have any scope for job and earning? Does it have academic and applicational value? Does it bring any name and fame? Does it provide for sustainable growth of society? So I have raised these 10 important questions. It is not that when you came to linguistics, you raised all those questions, but I'm 200% sure at least some of the questions have come to your mind. Question number is 7 or question number 9 has always been there in your mind. Does it have any scope for job or earning? Or can it give me bring any name or fame, which we always aspire? Very simple questions, all of us. So if you look these questions, you can find out some of the answers you have already got by this time when you have got certain level of exposure. Now, who is coming here and why do they come? So let us be very honest and sincere. The students who usually come to linguistics is not the creamy brains of the society, to be honest. What happens exactly? The present academic framework that we come across the country is something like that. Not the creamy brain. So what happens? The grade 1 students, which we have identified after class 10, you opt for science or engineering and technology. You know that the best students will go to those disciplines. Then grade 2 students normally comes to management and commerce. Grade 3 students go for humanities and social sciences. This has been a traditional practice for so far as in Indian context. Again, from the grade 3 group, the better lot normally opt for either English, psychology, sociology, and some other disciplines which have a better societal value, academic value, research value, or value as a product to the society. And the worst lot come political science, history, philosophy, and linguistics. So let us be honest, clearly understand things that those who have come to linguistics are primarily the worst group of students in the eyes of our society. So we have to take this as a truth. You cannot deny it. But the advantage is that I have come to this discipline is not by choice. So linguistics is mostly not the choice of the students, majority of the students who come to this discipline. It's by chance, by force. I came linguistics exactly in the same way. I did my graduation in English, but opted linguistics because my graduation was not so good score that I could get easily in masters in English. But unfortunately, fortunately enough, this is a blessing in disguise because linguistics has given me the opportunity to relook into my life in a far better way and to design my life in a far better way to make it more relevant, more contributive to the discipline, to the society. And I'm sure I would have not been successful if I would have opted English at my master's level. Now, let us understand the grim reality again. What is the academic status of linguistics in India? I'm taking including universities, IITs, ISC, ISI, ISC, private universities, all. And you might be knowing that at present in India, there are more than 1,000 public universities, mostly sponsored by central government and state government and union territories, and innumerable number of private universities. Reality is only 55 universities in India provide master's degree in linguistics. 39 universities provides MPhil and PhD degree in linguistics, and only 16 universities have BA courses in linguistics. So think, out of more than 1,000 public universities, there are only 55 universities which are providing courses, full-fledged MA courses in linguistics. So the background academic opportunities for us is not very conducive. So tentative number of annually graduated students, if I take for granted that in an average, 40 students are coming out from each of the 55 universities, the total word strength comes 2,200 or something like this, plus minus, say 100 or something like that. So annually, India is a country, multilingual country, multicultural country, multi-religious country, multi-belief system country. We produce 2,200 scholars. In comparison, say for English, there are 785 universities which has English as a master's in universities, MA level in English. Now, each university minimum number of, say, 50 students, 50 into 785 universities. Just think how many master's students in English is produced. So we are actually not in a very good shape. But this is our strength because there are tremendous varieties of job opportunities, and actually properly trained linguists are very less. So if there is high demand, low supply, your credentials is more than others. What are the work domains for graduate students? Those who have completed their masters. I'm taking graduated means I'm taking it not in an Indian sense, I'm taking it in a global sense. Graduated means those who have completed their masters. So primarily, as far as I understand, that they have job opportunities in mainstream linguistics, what we call that traditional linguistics. There are many subdomains which I'll discuss to a certain extent. There is a new domain which has come up nearly last 20 years, to be honest. In our time, there was no concept of language technology or information technology. So, which is consuming a large number of students these days, but nearly 20 years back, no discipline or no area was of this kind was available. There was applied linguistics. Applied linguistics not in the sense we understand in the linguistics ELT. I'm not talking about ELT. ELT is still there. I'm talking applied linguistics in that perspective where you directly apply your linguistic knowledge, linguistic experiences, linguistic data and understandings to do certain kinds of activities. So it will cover many other things rather than only English language teaching or your mother tongue teaching or language teaching perspective. Then there are allied disciplines. Other disciplines, it includes not only its sister disciplines like sociology, economics, political science, psychology, and others, but also mathematics, statistics, computer science, technology, medical science. All those domains are also hiring linguists. And you have a really good scope to contribute in those disciplines, which even 10 years back was not so clearly visible that students of linguistics would be indispensable in those interdisciplinary research and application development. Major domains in mainstream linguistics. You know that. I won't go into details that how long language description, describing a language. Many of the languages of the country are not yet described properly. We don't get a descriptive grammar for many of those Indian languages. So describing a language, it covering all aspects. Writing a grammar, preparing textbooks, doing research in different domains of that language, preparing reference books, knowledge text generation, describing social, regional, areal varieties. These are basically the major areas of descriptive linguistics as you have been taught in your courses in masters. So in all those things, it is not that you have been taught, once you are taught, your task is done. No. There are many, many domains, sub-areas where you have the potentials to contribute. And it has also relevance not only in academics, not only in school teachings, in many other domains. I'll go into details when you raise questions appropriately. Now, major domains of language technology. This I have already mentioned. I have already included 15 domains, but rather, to be honest, there are more than 30 different domains broadly where you can be hired by different corporate sectors, industries, technology-related institutions like IITs, even in the ministry, to carry out research and development tasks. The first task that I should like to mention here, language resource development, text and speech corpus. We are all aware of that. The kind of resources, digital resources, available for many of the Indian languages is far below than the requirement. And it is, in fact, not in a position in comparison with other languages, major languages. So a major requirement for Indian languages now, develop different kind of language resources, speech corpus, text corpus, multimodal corpora, text databases, and many other things. So we need a large number of young scholars from his or her own language who can digitally contribute to develop linguistic resources, language-related resources available globally for research and development purposes. Then we need language-based tools and apps development. Also, you come across various ways that in your smart mobile phone, you come across many language-related devices or applications which are primarily dependent on English. So these tools, these apps, which are available for English, French, German, or Spanish, also needs to be developed for Indian languages because of the localizations of technology or the diversion of big houses like Google and Microsoft for the development of technology for the minority languages. So there is huge opportunity for all of us to be engaged in language-based tools and apps development. Then technology and application developments. I know there are several industries, big houses, hiring linguists to assist in development, particularly Google or Facebook. They hire a lot of linguists to develop technology, language-related technology. Assistive support technology development. You know that there are a lot of, every technology needs a lot of supporting materials. And those supporting materials are not very easy to develop if somebody is not properly trained in linguistics. So the students of linguistics get an additional advantage when they are engaged in developing, providing data or information or appropriate analysis of language data for developing assistive technology support tools. Linguistic resource generation. I have mentioned that language data generation is something linguistic resources generation. Suppose, say, we want to develop a dictionary, or we want to have a term databases, or we want to have a database of personal proper names databases, or place name databases, which is very much required by the government for different e-governance activities as well as administrative tasks. So linguistic resource generation is important part. Then comes text annotation. Development of data into digital platform is one thing, and to annotate metadata with proper metadata, and to provide additional information to those texts so that machine can actually understand the nature, the structure, the content, the information, the demographic variables, the sociocultural variables, the discourse level variables, and all those things. We need to do annotation. And annotation is best done only by linguists. So whatever the text annotation tasks done for any of the languages of the world, it is done only by linguists. So when those big data houses ask for scholars for text annotations, they usually go for linguists. Next one is text classification. The amount of text that are being generated on the digital platform is huge. So system generators, system developers, experts, smart systems want to do classifications of the text of different types. And these tasks are usually done by linguists. Then we have to do metadata generation. That is another highly trained profession. Until and unless you are properly trained in generation of metadata, it becomes very difficult for you to address the requirements of a particular speech data, say, for example, which has been designed to identify the locality of the people or of the speaker, or to develop a good profile of the person. Then analysis of language data and formation of rules is entirely a linguistics task. So those who are engaged in trained in linguistics, they can do it. Content development. As you know that many of the scholars now, linguists, are engaged in development of contents. Contents of various types. I won't go into details because those who are engaged in content development tasks, they know that every IT industry has a different kind of requirement. In fact, Google asks for various kinds of content to be developed to develop their MT system. Then system verification and validation. Yesterday, I had a meeting with ministry, and one of the important tasks they wanted to share with us is that they have generated some translation output from Hindi to some other Indian languages. So they need some linguists to validate, to verify the translation output, and to validate, and to confirm that the machine generated translations are actually valid. And for this task, they don't go for any other person rather than linguists. So linguists are well trained to confirm whether a translation output or text summarized output or speech to text conversion rule output is actually true, normal, regular, acceptable, or standard one. Resource utilization, another important part is resource utilization. How the different kinds of resources we are developing can be utilized for various purposes. It is not only technology. You have to think that how your expertise can be engaged to utilize the resources. Suppose I develop a corpus. So corpus is not for only translation. I can use that corpus for, say, developing a grammar, or say developing a dictionary, or say developing study materials or teaching resources for the learners. So, or I can also utilize for publication purposes. So resource development and utilization purpose is a tremendous task where we need linguists. Then there is called morphological analyzer and generator, which is not yet been done for majority of the Indian languages. Also, there are grammar checkers or parsers. So these are basically slightly technical one. I won't go into the details, but those who are interested to know how morphological analyzer or generator being generated, or how a parser is generated, and how a linguist actually performing the major role in it, that can be discussed later. Then major domains of speech technology. I would just mention, and you please try to identify yourself that whether you have expertise to contribute in this area. And if you can really identify, then if you definitely you can contribute, or you can be hired by some industries. Suppose speech corpus generation. The major problem of the major goal of the government of India, as well as many industries, is to go for generation of speech corpora for, say, Indian languages. You might be knowing that Indian language has certain amount of text corpora, but corpora of all possible speech varieties available in the Indian subcontinent is not yet been developed. And be sure, by next 10 years, all major IT industries who are dealing with Indian languages will be looking for good quality speech corpora with a lot of noises to train their system, to develop tools, to develop technology, and those who are comfortable in the area of speech data collection, speech data annotation, speech traits marking, or speakers profile generation, speech analysis, they have a tremendous potential to be engaged or to be hired by IT industries. Also, research development for smartphones or linguistic support system for smart applications. There are many subdomains where you can actually contribute. I am sure, because as far as I understand and at the reactions with the corporate sectors as well as ministry, for last experiences interacting with them, I clearly can see that speech is the still untouched area for the government, and they are going all out to procure speech data of different types. And you can really find out a good opportunity for you, all of us, to contribute in this domain. Major domains of font technology. Font, you know very well that development of different kinds of fonts, that is the different kinds of scripts on digital platform, is an important part. Here, many of the industries I know are actually hiring linguists to design the different kinds of fonts like Times New Roman, serif, and many other kinds of fonts you can come across when you open a digital platform. You can find out that most of the Indian languages have only a limited variety of fonts. If you go to Latin font or Latin script writing system or Times New Roman, you can find out that there are more than 1,000 different varieties, designs, stylistic variations of fonts. So these fonts are yet to be developed for majority of Indian language scripts. So if you have any liking of orthography or calligraphy, then perhaps you can have a very good future here with regard to development of fonts, generation glyphs, generation curvatures, generation designing fonts. Also, text conversion from ISCI to Unicode or Unicode to ISCI. That is still not completed process. So if you have certain amount of training, then you can perhaps help those many houses, even publishing houses, when they want the different kinds of fonts to be developed for their languages or for their books, you can also help them. Or you can have fonts and style validation or font archive development. You might be knowing that in Bangladesh, at least for Bangla, they have some archive where they have got, say, around 500 or 600 different kinds of Bangla fonts, which are Unicode compatible, which you can use, download, install into a machine, and utilize for your own purpose for all kinds of tasks. Similar kind of things are to be done for majority of Indian languages. So young scholars who have a little bit of uncanny or unusual inclination towards designing or script designing, font designing, and all those graphical tasks, they are the best resources to be hired for development for font design. Major works of MT technology. As you might be knowing that machine translation is one of the major areas. You might be knowing that in a single day, in a context of India, we get 70,000 different or more varieties of text data of different types are being produced digitally. And a major chunk of those data needs to be translated across many languages. Forget about at individual level, even at the government sector. Every day, the ministry, central government produces a huge amount of data, which has to be translated in at least 22 scheduled Indian languages immediately, so that it reaches to the largest or farthest target users or his citizens. So you can find out the kind of huge amount of tasks still pending for us. So major things that we require for developing MT technology is bilingual corpora, parallel translation corpus, text alignment and mapping, translation rule generation, translation validation, parallel lexical database generation, parallel scientific and terminology database generation. And each one, I'm not talking about those people from the computer science. They are there, they can develop systems, they design programs, they write programs, they develop algorithms for the translation tasks. But in translation, 70% task is purely linguistics task. And these are the sum of the components that I have mentioned here. And in each of these domains, it is the linguist, bilinguals, who know his mother tongue and English or Hindi, his mother tongue, are the best human resource who are engaged. So task of text alignment, task of text mapping, or development of, say, parallel and scientific and technical terminology database is the task of the linguists. So you can be engaged in machine translation tasks. And many of the corporate sectors, even government and many IITs, as well as many research institutes across the country are engaged in these research works. And this is not a one-time job. This is a perennial task. It has already started in 1955 and today is 2023. So here we can find out that 45 years and 22 years. So almost 77 years are already gone. Even then, MT technology is not yet developed. So maybe sure that in our lifetime it is not going to be complete. So we can have very much chance to be engaged in this kind of research activities. Major works of lexicography. You might be knowing that dictionary compilation is a highly professional task, and it is the linguists who play the most crucial role here. And in our life, we come across hundreds of different types of dictionaries, printed dictionaries. Now, all major houses across the globe are not depending on printed dictionaries. They are developing digital dictionaries, literally dictionaries of various kinds. Printed, digital, machine readable, word nets, sense nets, Sabdamitra, lexical database development, term banks, thesauruses, encyclopedias, digital workbooks, digital lexical profile of various types of lexical knowledge base, lexical database, which would be a part of educational technology in near future. Very recently, or maybe after 10 years, these would be the essential components in digitized education system. And I personally know that big houses like Oxford, Cambridge, Dictionary.com, or Merriam-Webster's, they hire large number of linguists for a long-term basis to develop these resources. So if you have some inclination for lexicographic tasks, compilation, dictionary compilation, if you know the methodology, the techniques, the tools which are being used for developing dictionaries, so you are the better choice for them than any other human being. Major works of language teaching that you all know, that as a linguist, how we can help in the tasks of language teaching. So language teaching is one of the oldest professions in our civilization. It has not yet come to an halt. Every year or every decade, we come a different approach, different model, different theory, different strategy to teach mother language, second language, professional language, third language, and all those things. Now, in this digital world, educational technology or online language teaching has come up as a new phenomenon, multimodal language teaching. They call this multimodal language teaching, blended learning, and many other names. And everywhere, it is the linguists who are actually engaged most in a most cohesive manner, linking up all aspects of teaching. So linguists are actually providing data, pronunciation, and everything that required for language teaching purposes. Teaching grammars, usages, meanings, audiovisual support, multimodal support, pictorial support, develop teaching materials, content, even assessment of the performance of the students is also done by linguists. And you can develop language, online language teaching. The e-technology or educational technology that the government of India now proposing to be applied, to be incorporated or to be initiated by all universities are now depending on online language teaching modules and assessment mechanisms where linguists are taking part in a large amount. So even language teaching and linguistic performance assessment, in all those tasks, we are actually hired for different kinds of activities related to it. Language documentation, as you know very well, that from 2022 to 2023, UNESCO has declared it is the International Decade for Endangered Language Documentation. And once the UNESCO has declared it, all the countries of the world, particularly those countries where there are huge linguistic diversities like India, Brazil, Indonesia, Africa, US, Australia, and many other countries, those who have a lot of endangered languages, a lot of ethnic languages, have got big projects to document those languages scientifically using technology and archive them. So it seems very one-dimensional task, but to be honest, there are several domains, subdomains, where each of us can contribute. Conducting linguistic field surveys, language data collection and elicitation, language data annotation, processing and analysis, development of linguistic resources, application of data in digital platforms, digital and printed media, language data archiving and dissemination, endangered language community profile development, all those tasks are not one-day task. It will go for at least for next 1 decade as far as UNESCO guideline, but after that, it will also go to continue for another 20 or 30 years. So if you can develop certain skills in those areas about the data collection, data annotation, data processing, of linguistic knowledge as well as technological background, then you are perhaps the best choice to be engaged in language documentation and digitization. So in fact, this is one of the most lucrative areas where you can really contribute something and make your name and fame in the discipline, or put your contribution in the history of the preservation or protection and promotion of the language diversities. Some other things, other application-based areas, which I have not emphasized much because I don't have much exposure in those areas, but I had some exposure working with some neurolinguists across the continent. I've been engaged in some projects. I was doing linguistic aphasia, bilingual patients with some universities, scholars of University of Reading. So that gives me some ideas how linguists are being hired to contribute to analyze the data of the patients or bilinguals and identify with regard to do several kinds of different kinds of experiments with the linguistic capacities, with the linguistic cognition, experimental studies in the area of clinical and neurolinguistics. So also, as you know, sociolinguistics, ethnolinguistics, anthropolinguistics, and recently, new area has come up called ecolinguistics. In all those areas, it is the linguists who are actually contributing a lot of information, a lot of data, analysis, and understanding of the civilizations and so on society. So if you look at those some global forums, you can find out that every day, you come across more than 100 advertisements asking for good quality linguists to be engaged in different kinds of research and development activities. So what are possible career opportunities? You can be writer, researcher, content developer, language instructor, language interpreter, reporter, news editor. There is orthographic mistake, speech therapist, even teacher, translator, forensic expert, dictionary maker, script writer, technology developer, speech trainer, soft skill developer, and obviously politicians. So you can easily understand that you have got so many domains to work on and to contribute. What are the places of employment? What are the places where you can give your jobs? College or universities, Department of Defense, Ministry also, Defense Ministry takes a lot of linguists for various reasons. I won't go into details what are there. But I know that, in fact, many of the linguistic projects that has been carried out or that has been the new area of contribution to the linguistics are actually undertaken by the Ministry of Defense of the American government. Hospitals and banking, investigation agencies, media house, private sectors, publishing companies, sign language sale, speech and language rehabilitation centers, travel and tourism, consulting firms, government services, international organizations, language institutes, primary secondary schools, public relations offices, research institutes, software companies, translation companies, and interpretation companies. So this is not the final, mind that. You can add something more. So far I have been able to add that, but anyway, you can add something more here if you find that there is a new domain where linguists are actually engaged but not included here. So here I end. Thank you very much for your patience, and I would like to take your views and comments so that I can respond to your call.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It was a very informative session that we can say, and we have learned so many things that what we were thinking traditionally, that the students who have opted linguistics has a very narrow opportunities or prospect in the future. So it is not
Yes.
like that. So thank you very much for exploring such an opportunity for all these scholars and students who are gathered here this morning. So now, yes, any of our participants, if you have any queries, questions, or any clarification, you can unmute and you can ask directly to the sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arvind Singha, do you want to say something?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, all right, no problem, because I saw you unmuted. Anyone?
Is there anybody, any query or any question
Yeah.
or any clarification? If you want, just let me know. Are they really present physically, or they have just put their mobile on and left somewhere? Because this is Sunday morning. It happens. Mostly I have seen that this happens in cases of online talks.
Hmm.
They usually keep their mobile on so that they are there, but actually they are not there.
Yeah, I think Vidya has raised her hand. Yeah, Vidya, you can say. You can unmute and you can speak.
Yeah, Vidya is.
What are you doing? Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
audible.
Vidya, please.
But I want to also see your face.
Okay.
Anyway, you proceed.
All right. I just wanted to ask one thing. This definitely is a very informative session. I just wanted to know, with so much opportunities being given to linguists,
Yeah.
how is that us linguists, us linguists still not really getting opportunities? And one more thing, which is the actual question, is to develop the so-called skills. So after your master's program, you specialize in some places which offer such courses, say some diploma courses or some certificate courses, or somewhere that you can excel in your skills or develop some skills and learn more about linguistics.
Yes, Vidya, you
Yes.
have raised a fantastic question. That has been my questions also for many years. So since I have been working in this area for say for last 30 years and collaborating with corporate sectors, industries, as well as academia across the country and abroad, what I really find is that the courses that we teach in our universities are not actually addressing the requirements of the industries and corporate sectors. So there is a gap, to be honest. Suppose we teach them phonetics and phonology. Fine, they get certain amount of knowledge. But have you ever them that how your knowledge of phonetics and phonology can be applied in analysis of speech data. We have never taught them. We have never trained them. But the industry wants a person who will be able to hear some speech data digitally and identify certain unique marks, traits, based on which the system can be developed so that any speaker can automatically identify it, so that an individual speaker profile can be generated. See, I'm giving another example. Recently, Government of India is going to a level where they are interested to develop they call it speaker's profile for every Indian. So that by listening your voice, they can easily tell you from which part of the country you are coming, which locality you are coming, and which various others. And this has a tremendous forensic relevance. We have taught our students about phonetics and phonology, never trained them how to utilize that knowledge in actual real life problem solving situations. Let me give you another example. We have taught in our classes that this is the way a dictionary is generated. This is a dictionary, lexicography. Have we ever tried in a classroom situation to encourage the students to compile a 100 words dictionary of its own? We have never done. So we have been teaching syntax. Have we ever told them how to analyze a sentence? How to identify the parts of speech in the sentences? How the parts of speech of words inside a text sentence are actually identified, marked? So what I'm trying to hammer is here, the design of courses that we have been so long utilizing are not going to address the requirements of industries or corporates or actual world of working world. So perhaps we have two options now. Number one, that we carry on with our existing modules or existing courses and have some add-ons like a diploma course on computational linguistics, a diploma course on text annotation, or diploma course on text processing, or dictionary compilation, or that kind of things, short-term courses where the students get hand-on experiences and they know what is the industry is asking for, and they can be suitable for them. Alternatively, second option is that you have to redesign our courses, which is a very challenging task because many of our colleagues are not in a mode to change the existing frame of teaching and they are outcast. The problems with our linguistics is that majority of our scholars, with full respect to them, have noted that they are not ready to change to address the future requirements. Or in contrast, let me share with you a very simple question. So long in our department, we have trained 93 linguists in ISI Linguistic Research Unit Lab. And I'm really proud to tell you or share with you, all 93 students are engaged across the world. Not a single one still not lying there without any job. Each one, they are absorbed across the world. I always proudly say that if I go any part of the globe, I just give an email that I'm coming to your city. Rest of the things are taken care of by my students. Even starting from Tokyo to New York to Adelaide to London, every France, wherever I go, I just give an email that I'm coming. And they say, sir, please come. Rest of the things are on our responsibility. Even they are earning in such a way that they can hire me and put me as a worker in their industries for months. So all those 93 students have been trained in my department, in my lab, hand-on experiences. They applied in different organizations and they got absorbed. I have been the medium that these students have normally come from universities without having on hand-on experiences. They get trained in our department for 6 months or 1 year. They go apply for global platform and they get engaged. So if we can redesign our courses or introduce certain kind of courses to address those requirements, the best thing I would suggest Manali or Bijan or other people who are engaged here, can you please go straight to those industries where we are kicking, ask them to come and know what are they actually require, so that you can introduce some short-time training courses to your learners, and learners get trained properly and they are hired by those industries. Until and unless we change our stance, we change our approach, the gap would be always there. So Vidya has raised a fantastic question. I'm really happy that you have raised this question. And this is my understanding that we can address this problem if we change our approach towards this.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Okay. Thank you, Vidya, and thank you, sir, for the clarification. So, what we need at this hour is that we have to uh, change, or we have to update the existing curriculum or the so-called syllabus, or courses, and we have to go accordingly what is the requirement of those industry or those sectors where the students of linguistics can be engaged in different
Exactly.
capacities. So
Yes.
I think that is the need of the hour. Thank you very much, sir. This is one of the very important
Let me share
points.
with you one important question.
Yes, yes, sir.
3 of my students are now working in Oxford University, Oxford Dictionary Project.
Okay.
They are the permanent workers. These 3 students were working in my lab. As I was working as an advisor for the Oxford University Bangla Hindi English Bangla project, and was one of those their advisors, I exactly came to know what kind of requirement they had.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that, sir, we need scholars of this kind. I said that exactly this kind of scholars we are having in our lab. They said, okay, can you please ask them to apply? They all applied, and all 3 got appointed in by Oxford English Dictionary. They are located. One is located in US, another is in Heidelberg, Germany. Third one is at Delhi.
Okay.
Recently, yesterday, 2 days back, one of the big industries, dictionary project industries from Malaysia, they are trying to develop corpus-based bilingual dictionaries for English and Malaysian language. And they asked me for my expertise and also requested, do you have any scholars who know how to do bilingual corpus-based dictionaries? I suggested 2 of them. Maybe by next 1 or 2 months, the whole project, it will be materialized. And the team is from the industry will be visiting my lab. They identify the scholars who are actually working in there, and they can hire them. So this is the way that actually, until and unless we make ourselves properly trained in that way, we cannot serve industries.
Mm-hmm.
So best thing is that we have to hire the industry people, let them come, interact with us, and let us know what exactly they require, so that we can train our students accordingly, so that these students are actually hired by them.
Okay. That's great idea, sir. So yeah. Before we take another questions, by taking this opportunity and taking this platform, sir, as you are already explored and you have known the requirement of these industry people, so almost all the syllabus that is running in Indian universities or the institutions, sir, we have a similar types of the content. Oh,
Yes.
almost more or the less. Yeah, some differences must be there. So, what is your best suggestion so that we can engage our, let's say, our outpassing students maybe in different sectors? So, what is your best suggestion if we add some additional papers on this and that? What could be those papers that can meet the requirement of those industries, sir? I'm not very particular about a
Yes,
particular
I understand.
sector, but in general, what is your suggestions?
So in that case, very good question, the issue you have raised, to be honest. And really thank you, Vision,
Mhm.
for raising this issue.
Okay.
So I have been a Board of Studies member for at least several universities in India now, starting from central universities to state universities. And everywhere I have requested them 2 things. Let's see, let us visualize where linguistics go from here to next 10 or 15 years time. First thing we can find out that automation of language teaching or language learning or classroom teaching is going to be one of the major things. The typical classroom based teaching is not going to sustain for long. The government is bent up, decided that entire education system should be like Baizu kind of thing, online language education system. Education, not language, education system. And in this, language is one of the most important part. Language teaching, requirement of language teaching would be always there, but it would be in a reversed manner, not in a typical teachers coming into the class, teaching grammars, teaching those things or that thing. Rather, it would be on a digital platform. So if it is on the digital platform, then think of the linguistic diversities of the country and the requirement of a country of a large country, where we need a lot of study materials, reference materials, interactive assessment modules, performance modules, grammars, lexicon, dictionaries, text materials, everything on digital platform. So linguists has a tremendous role. If you can identify a part, how to develop the linguistic resources for primers, for the secondary school teachers, as the schools, that can be a fantastic opportunity for us to redesign the language teaching modules. First thing. Second area that I can visualize, language technology, localization of language technology is another important. As I have already mentioned in my talk, that development of speech data and speech analysis is going to be an important component for next 20 years. So if you can introduce a small course, how to collect speech data, how to process it, how to analyze it, how to annotate it, how to apply it, your students will be far better equipped than others when the industries go ask for a student who knows how to handle speech data. Number 3, technology development for Indian languages. So if you can introduce a small course or diploma course on, or at least one paper on computational linguistics, they know how to handle the computer. They know how to do small analysis, use of SPSS English analysis of data. Use of different modern tools like Conc, Anaconc, Wordsmith, they call it the famous Sketch Engine or Sensible. If they know those, how to utilize those tools, we are not asking them to write programs. We are asking them, they know that modern tools are available to analyze speech data, written text data, process data, analyze data. If they know how to utilize them, how to access them, how to extract information out of them, if they know Pratt, if they know Elan, they're far better empowered to get a job. Industry is not going to train them anymore. They want a trained manpower who will be directly engaged into their tasks. So it is always better that you give some courses on computational linguistics, corpus analysis or corpus linguistics, or speech analysis courses, or computational lexicography, or computational by e-language technology, e-technology, or we say they are calling now educational technology. That will give the opportunities to the learners to have certain or hone certain kind of skills which would be utilized directly once they come out from industries. So you have to keep in mind that until and unless we make ourselves eligible for a particular kind of job or opportunities, nobody is going to hire us.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah, participants, you have any other queries, comments?
Yeah, Bijan, I just
Yeah,
want to
please,
add
please, please.
just my observation.
Yes.
So what I have seen is that the syllabus that is prepared for the Department of Linguistics is mainly targeting NET exam and including our department syllabus as well. Like all the universities in India are targeting for the UGC NET exam, and it is failing in targeting the corporate sector.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
another thing, sir, I want to mention is without without pointing to any colleagues or
Yeah.
faculties I know, there are several professors who dictate notes in the class, and
Yes.
because of that, they are not also the students are not able to even clear the net, nor are they able to understand the benefits of doing speech data analysis, or
Exactly.
nor are they able to avail these opportunities of going for job opportunities in computational linguistic sectors. So this is something that I have also been observing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're absolutely true. And if you if you notice the questions of net in last two exams, you'll find out that the entire orientation from this traditional frame, UGC net questions are coming out.
Mm.
It is becoming more application oriented because the government mandate is that questions should be in accordance with national education policy.
Mm.
So theoretical exercise is fine, but your questions should be more application oriented.
Right.
So if you look, I would request you please observe the question patterns of last two exams. You'll
Mm.
clearly find out that the approach is drastically changed.
Mm.
Okay. That will give you some, the UGC, not only that the government of India is looking in that way that our new education policy should primarily reflect on developing skills of the learners so that they are not only suitable in academic frames, also they can address the requirement of industries. Okay.
Mhm.
So you have rightly observed. So I have nothing to say here. I won't say anything. Anyway, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
so
a
much.
very, yeah, that's a very good comment from Dr. Monali.
Yeah.
Yeah, students, feel free to ask any question to sir, because this is a very good opportunity for you. And this is a very, means almost all the students thought that, yeah, I have opted linguistics. Have I done, means
No,
the
yeah, yeah.
result is wrong, or don't be disheartened. From today onwards, sir has so many doors where you can enter, but it's up to you. It's up to your uh, self determination that
Yes,
which
yes.
one you have to choose, which one you have to go. So still
Women's
we
are
have,
there. Women's are
yes,
there. Once you
right.
make yourself fit for that, you'll be absolute. Sure.
Yeah, linguistics is not it's not a discipline which is less important than the other disciplines. So
This is one of the oldest disciplines of our civilization. And
so,
it is even more important than other disciplines at present now.
yeah, rightly pointed, sir. Rightly
Yeah.
said. So yeah, those who have any any query or anything that you want to ask, you can ask from the sir.
Or if there are nothing, then we can call it a day.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yes, then I think, sir, there is no further more question. If there is any other further question, then we will try to discuss in
Contact,
with.
yeah, email me so that I can
Yeah,
respond.
yes, sure. That we will do.
Yeah.
So yeah, over to you, Dr. Monali. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bijen, for moderating today's session. And thank you so much, Niladri sir, for such an enlightening talk on so many diverse key issues that need to be addressed. And I think the participants today have been enriched by this session, and I think we all have learned many new things today, and we hope that Bijen and me and few other faculty colleagues who are here would be doing something to modify the syllabus and help the students in creating a scope for the employment in the industry sector also. Thank you so much. um, Thank you very much, sir, and thank you, Bijen. Now, I'd like to request Dr. Keladbo to kindly say a few words and propose a vote of thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Monali, for giving me this time. And firstly, I want to thank our speaker, sir, Niladri, sir, for accepting our invitation and coming and giving us a very enlightening talk, which would help all of us who have attended this morning to proceed forward in our career. I wish more students could have joined, and learn from what you have spoken this day. I wish I have listened to this talk some 5-10 years back from you, but anyway, there is where there's always a scope for change and to learn. So this has been a very good experience, a very knowledgeable session, and we will look forward to the directions that you have shown us this morning. Thank you so much for taking your time out in your busy schedule and sparing your valuable time and joining us this morning. Thank you so much. And I want to thank the Department of Linguistics of Assam University for giving us this platform, the Alumni Association. I thank the head of the department, Dhiren sir, who was here earlier. And I thank our coordinator, Dr. Monali, who has been taking all this, making arrangement and being present here this morning. I thank Bizen for, making this program a successful one and for conducting this session. I also would like to thank our friends and colleagues who have attended this morning session. I believe that every one of us have gained, something from this talk, and it will help us to improve our knowledge or our career in days to come. So thank you, everyone, and I wish you all the best and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.